two different types. One is called as anabolic process, other is called as the catabolic process. Anabolic process where there is a synthesis of the complex compound, and one of the example of this anabolic process is the photosynthesis. The next process, that is the respiration, this is one of the example of the catabolic process where there is a synthesis of the complex compound, and this complex compound breakdown, not the synthesis, there is a breakdown of the complex compound in the form of the glucose or that carbohydrate, and there is a release of the certain amount of the energy. Now this respiration, all the living organisms which require energy to carry out the various physiological activities like growth, reproduction, etc. So there is a question in our mind that from where we get the energy. So there will be the question in our mind from where we get the energy and how that energy will utilize. So this is the most important and one of the question in our mind. Another thing, the ultimate source of energy for all the organisms, that ultimate source of energy is the radiant energy of the sunlight that is utilized by the green plants during the process of photosynthesis, and this is stored in the form of the glucose or the starch. Now, the living organism, any living organism, that oxidize this organic food in the form of the cellular respiration to release the larger amount of energy in a stepwise manner. That is called as the respiration. So here we can think that here all the living organisms, even we also, require the energy to carry out the various physiological activities. If I want to talk with you, there is a need of certain amount of the energy. If you want to read some books or some text material, there is also the need of the energy. For any moment, for any physiological activity, there is a need of energy. From where we get the energy? We get this energy in the form of, basically this energy source is the sunlight. But we cannot take these sunlight as the energy source directly. That should be converted into the other form. And which one converts it into another form? That is the plant. Plant is only the living organism on the earth which convert this radiant energy or the sunlight energy into the another form of chemical form of the energy. That chemical form of energy, that we call it as the glucose or the starch. Now, again there is a question in our mind, whatever the food material that we eat, that food material consists of these are present in various forms. And these various forms of the food material in the form of, for example, we do not eat directly the wheat. We make it as a chapati and then we eat this chapati. Or any other food that we take. So, in that food material, there may be the presence of the food material in the form of the starch, or sometimes we can take directly the glucose. Then these glucose that we take that do not directly act as the energy source, that do not give directly energy to us, that should be converted. Again, that should be converted, and that should be breakdown. How it should be? How it will be breakdown? This living organism which oxidize this organic food in the cellular respiration. Means this organic food in the form of the glucose, the starch, or any other form that convert into the glucose or the starch. If this is present in the form of the starch, then that starch converts into the glucose and then this is utilized. Now this glucose is not directly, that glucose is enter in a particular process that gets breakdown and large amount of energy is released in a stepwise manner. That process where there is a breakdown of that glucose molecule in a stepwise manner. That process we call it as the respiration. Now this respiration, this is the intracellular process of the oxidation of the organic substance, in which that organic substance in the form of the glucose that broken down to release the energy, and this release energy in the form of the ATP. Now what is this ATP? ATP is the adenosine triphosphate. This is the long form. But this ATP is the energy currency. This ATP is the energy currency, and these ATP molecules are formed when there is a breakdown of these glucose molecules. So this, whenever we need the energy to carry out or to perform any physiological activity, when we need any type of the energy, that energy from these ATP molecules, because this is the currency of energy. Now, why this is currency of the energy? Because whatever the energy that we need to perform any activity, that much amount of ATP molecule is breakdown, which release the energy, and that energy is utilized to carry out such type of the process. Simply, this energy currency, that is the ATP. When we take the starch, when we take the glucose, this is not act as the energy. This must be converted into the ATP molecule. Then this is utilized as the energy currency or energy source. So there is a best example when we want to purchase anything from the market. We have to use the particular currency. We have to use the currency in the form of the rupees, either in the form of note or the coin. But if we give the gold coin or the silver coin to the person, or that any person in the hotel or anywhere, so this will not be accepted. This will not confirm that this is the original or all these things. If we show them and if we give them a 10 rupees note or 100 rupees note, this will easily accept and this will give you something. Why this has happened? Because this note or that coin, this is the currency. And this currency, by using that currency, we can take all these things. But that gold we have to convert into the currency. We have to sell it to that particular person. He gives us that rupees, and then we can purchase any other thing. We cannot directly purchase anything by giving directly to gold to that person. There should be the currency. That currency in the form of the rupees. Like this, here is the same thing. If there is a starch, glucose or any other form of the food material, that should be converted into this form of the energy or that energy molecule, and that energy molecule is nothing but the ATP